Hey guys, be sure to check out the Mortar Pod, our weekly video podcast, and also check out the tutorial video for my board game, Travelers of Storia. Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing a cube draft while we're waiting for cons to come online. If you're looking for this for a bunch of advanced knowledge on cube, you've probably come to the wrong place. I do not have a lot of cube experience. I'm very inexperienced at it, so I don't know what's the most powerful. I suppose this is probably pretty strong, right? Get rid of that, and then if I'm willing to 2-for-1 myself, I can ramp myself. I could see that being beneficial. Or I can go for a burn deck, which is probably pretty straightforward and easy to do. There's some removal in here. There's stuff that takes care of other stuff. There's fixing. What's the best? What is the best, folks? The world may never know. I don't know what my preference is, because I don't know this format that well. But let's take the Mox, because I could power stuff out faster. I don't know. It also fixes maybe a little bit. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll just keep saying that, and maybe it'll get through to some people. So, if anything, this is a good draft to watch for people that don't know much about cube. You can see how you'd probably fare, since I do not know that much about cube. Dark Confidant, typically a strong card. Unfortunately, in limited, not so good, because you tend to have high casting cost stuff. So I would say, what are we looking at? Court-Hussar is actually pretty good, because it gets you a dude and draws some cards. Lightning Helix, obviously good. Multicolor, though. What else is good? I mean, fixing and stuff that destroys stuff. I don't know. Let's find a path here. Why don't we take the Lightning Helix? It seems like it's pretty powerful. Kill stuff whilst simultaneously gaining you life. I like it. We'll go for that. Let's see what we think. Alright, well, Pyromancer's pretty good. Got some fixing. We've got Snuff Out. We've got Thoughtseize. Pretty good black cards in here overall. A lot of black removal. Karmic Guide lets you bring stuff back when it enters. And it has Pro Black, and it has Flying, but it also has Echo. I see. Coralhelm Commander is good. Well, if I want to easily make this Lightning Helix work, I could take the Pyromancer. Karmic Guide seems fine. Black cards are good too. I mean, Thoughtseize is definitely something. I think I'm going to take the Pyromancer. I could be a spell-heavy deck if I end up in red. So, perhaps I would want the young Pyromancer then. I think we'll go Pyromancer. Do I think it's the best? No idea. We'll just, nope, color scheme's fine. Okay, so now we've got Hammer, which was very good and limited for Theros, and Linvala, which is a very reasonably costed angel creature. I do like that Hammer just spits out stuff all day. It's kind of good. Gives you a good late game plan. I think that's why I like the Hammer so much. Otherwise, yeah, nothing too terribly amazing in here. Primal Command's pretty good. I mean, Linvala is good. I could just take her. 4 mana, 3/4 flying. Pretty tough to deny that. And it turns off opponents' activated abilities. I'm sure there's plenty of activate. I'm gonna go against my initial judgment to take the Hammer. I'm gonna go with Linvala. She seems like a pretty reasonably costed chick. All right. So choices now. Well, there's a god in here, which is fine. Ismaru, nice little white beater. Soldier, also a good white beater. Probably, arguably a better one than Ismaru since it has additional abilities. Arc Trail, good for 2-for-1ing if you're playing against the Findhorn Elf, Llanowar Elf deck. I could see Arc Trail being actually really good there. Maybe we go for the 2-for-1 spell. Otherwise, am I trying to play a White Weenie Beatdown? I don't really know yet. I think that's the issue. My game plan is probably something aggressive because To me, that makes sense. Ancient Tomb actually ramps us too, which is kind of nice. Let's take the Ancient Tomb. I know it might seem strange, but 2 mana on turn 2, 2 extra mana on turn 2 rather, could be really good. Keranos. Tough to deny this card. Deals damage to stuff or draws you cards, both of which are very good. This guy spits dudes out. I like that. Teetering Peaks, got some fixing going. I guess Tundra would help us play the Keranos. Maybe we just take fixing till I figure out what's going on, till I figure out what I want to do. Lands don't untap. Player untaps 1 land. Jeez, it seems like you have to have a game plan to make that work. I'm going to go with the Tundra. I'm going to take some fixing right now. Kind of help direct me towards what I want. Rift Bolt is very good. Vindicate removes stuff, which is also very good. This fixing's not exactly in line with the 3 colors I had in mind. But what else is good in here? I mean, fairly late black stuff, that's pretty good. I guess I just want to take the Rift Bolt. I've got Pyromancer and Helix already, so does kill stuff or burn face. Maybe we are better off just going some sort of aggressive thing. Fairly late green stuff, that looks good. Mogus's Warhound is a pretty good card, though. I think I feel pretty comfortable taking that. I like bestowing, and otherwise it's a cheap beater. I guess it does have to attack each turn, but we'll try it out. Take a little Mogus's Warhound. Alright, we could take the Forge. I think I actually like Ravenous Baboon. Land destruction's pretty nice. Non-basic, albeit non-basic, but otherwise, I mean, Battlefield Forge is exactly on color with us, so it is kind of sensible to take that, I guess, but I'm pretty sure Baboon is very good in an aggressive build. I mean, destroying non-basics seems like it's pretty good. Especially if we ramp it out on turn 3 with an Ancient Tomb or something. Makes sense, maybe. Cascade Bluffs would help fix for Keranos, Molten Rain, or Pillage. Destroy or deal damage, or destroy artifact or land. I think actually Pillage is better. Despite the fact that we're aggressive, I believe there's a ton of playable artifacts in this set, so I think it makes more sense to take that. Could also take the Whip Quarter, although it's a bit color intensive. But maybe tapping dudes down is better, actually. I'm going to go with the Whip Quarter. Change my mind. Especially since it's got Morph, so that could pan out for us. Tar Pit helps us find swamps or mountains. Otherwise, Priest of Urabrask, you can technically power it out and then, you know, play something else. Or Disenchant, which is fine too. I'm probably okay with the Tar Pit here. We've seen a lot of late black cards. Could be black is a direction we want to go, or Splash for, perhaps. Pithing Needle, I'll take it for sideboard. Could see that being useful. Alright, Soldier. Athreos is a card as well, but I'm going to take the Soldier. I mean, Manic Vandal 2-for-1s. It is pretty good, I guess. But Soldier beats down. Alright, Mog War Marshal, definitely playable. Alright, so I guess we're playing Boros aggro? Last pick Delver. So I think we're playing Boros aggro, if I can make this work. So far, pretty good removal suit with our Rift Bolt and Lightning Helix. And we've got Pyromancer to get some value and some other creatures and stuff. Okay, so what do we got in here? We've got Flame Javelin, which is certainly good. Hero of Oxid Ridge, which I'm a big fan of. Great card. Memory Jar, which each player exiles a card from his hand, draws 7 cards. Beginning the next end step, each player discards his or her hand, returns to it. So this has got to be like a combo card, correct? Right? Combo? Coalition Relic, ramps, but I'm not sure we're going to need that in this deck. Hall of Triumph lets you buff all your red creatures, which does actually look really good, especially alongside the Pyromancer. Could be a Hall of Triumph deck. I do like me some Hero of Oxid Ridge. Actually, I think Hero's better because it works almost just as well with Pyromancer in terms of pumping the tokens, that is. But this just also kills on its own, which Hall of Triumph does not. So I think I'm going to first pick a hero over the Flame Javelin. Despite liking Flame Javelin quite a bit, hero can be pretty busted on certain board states. Well, Bonfire is a pretty dirty card. Clifftop Retreat fixes us. Yosai is a nice 6-drop, of course. We've got, what, Mox Diamond that lets you discard lands and then ramp as well. I don't know. Bonfire is one of those cards where you see it on turn, like, you know, 8 or 9, and they just lose the game. You're like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just board wipe you and kill you. So Bonfire to me, pretty good card. Worst case scenario, you open a hand with it, and you end up paying like 5 mana to deal 2 damage to them and each creature they control, which against some cards like the Hermit that spits out the squirrels or whatever, still useful. So we'll take that. Sundering Titan, geez. This one is a pretty strong card. Sundering Titan, notoriously strong. I think we're going to have a harder time playing in here, even with the Ancient Tomb, though. So let's just take the Bonfire, continue down the burning aggressiveness path. Domri is something. Unexpectedly absent is, in fact, removal. Spectral Procession is a card I like quite a bit. It is white intensive, but works well with our hero. And it is a pretty strong card. Burst Lightning is some more burn, which is definitely good. Urabrask is okay. Nothing wrong with him. Step Links is better if you have a lot of fetch or design a deck around him. I'm probably cool with Spectral Procession. I think this card is pretty strong. I mean, it does make us pretty evenly split on our mana base, which is a problem because we've been passing all this red-white fixing. But Unexpectedly Absent, I guess it does deal with anything too, which is nice. And it is removal. I still think I want the Procession. Getting that flight evasion. Ooh, Hero Bladehold alongside Hero of Oxenridge. Having the 2 heroes makes me feel kind of good. Ulamog's in here too, geez. 8.5 Tails is definitely good. Magus can be good in certain matchups. Siege Gang is definitely good with the hero. Hero Bladehold does just win the game on its own and still works really well with Hero of Oxenridge. So I think I'm going to go Hero Bladehold route. So I'm feeling okay, actually. Our 2 4-drops we've got are pretty dominating. I think we officially dried up, though. None of these picks are super exciting for us. 10th Street Hooligan we can't even get value off of. Late Raphellos. Battlesphere is kind of expensive. I mean, technically, I guess we could theoretically play Battlesphere, but it's not very likely to happen since it's so expensive. I guess 10th Street Hooligan is a cheap beater, so I guess I'll take it, just in case we end up with some green-red or green-white fixing. Mizium Mortar seems perfectly fine. It's removal. Yeah, I can get behind that. Alright, Arid Mesa is some nice fixing for us. Otherwise, Near Heath Pilgrim. Keldon Champion has haste and echo, and it nukes a player. Jeez, that's actually pretty good. But I think we're actually good on 4-drops, so Earthquake, also a burn spell. It is, in fact, a burn spell of some sorts. I don't think Heliod's the pick, although it's fine. It's a little color intensive. Let's take the Arid Mesa. I'd like some fixing, since we ended up getting the fixing that's not exactly on color. Caracas can be very useful. I mean, obviously it works well for protecting our Linvala, but bouncing opposing legends can be very nice. Thalia is okay. The problem is we've got quite a few non-creature spells ourselves, which isn't that good for us. We could just take the Caracas to bounce opposing legends. I really don't have an issue with that. Mana Tithe, no one expects it, I guess. That's a nice plus. I'm going to take the Caracas. You can throw it in the deck for sure. And, ooh, Tabling Flame Javelin is pretty nice. I mean, maybe you're thinking it's awkward because we have Flame Javelin and Spectral Procession in here, but I think it's going to be okay if we're 2-color. Gargadon is a pretty playable card. We did table the Sundering Titan, though. Not that we're going to be able to easily play it, I guess, but I don't know. Gargadon, I guess you can probably throw into any deck that's running red, since it gradually comes out. Sundering Titan can be really annoying to play against. I'm going to take the Gargadon. Burst Lightning versus Seeding Song. Well, this is for combo stuff. Domri Raid is, I mean, he's okay. We're just going to take the Burst Lightning. Let's just get some burn going here. Mark of Mutiny can be huge. I would think in this format, you're going to see plenty of insane creatures. So I guess Wear and Tear technically is very good for us too, since we could get the full value on it. And even Magus is good too. But I'm going to take a creature stealing spell. I just like it. I like it in an aggressive deck like this. None of these cards are terribly annoying. I mean, both of these are good, but Force Spike can be annoying too, and you never expect it. I don't think we're playing the Lumberjack, so let's take the Pride Mage. Explore. Not two Explorers, just one. Okay, so let's sideboard these likely. Ooh, Perforos. Now that's pretty spicy for us, I would say, since we've got multiple token generators. Spectral, Hero, War Marshal, Pyromancer. We've got all the goods on the synergistic plays there. Geez, and this too. This works so well with everything we've got as well. So I guess it's Perforos versus Battle Driver. Perforos, I feel fairly comfortable in saying that we could get him the devotion he needs to come online. Hellkite seems just too expensive, and everything else seems fairly unexciting. I guess Wrath, but we're not really that kind of deck. It really is Battle Driver or Perforos. So let's take the Perforos. It's a little more exciting of a pick. There is Forest to make 10th Street Hooligan actually be able to destroy artifacts, which I will admit is actually relevant, definitely in this format. But Perforos just seems a bit too spicy to pass up here. Aurelia's Fury is a card. So is Stromkirk Noble and Gorehouse Chainwalker, however. So is Mother of Runes. Jeez. Mother of Runes, I think might actually be the pick because it lets us get in. Stromkirk Noble does get bigger. Gorehouse Chainwalker, I mean, I would take Noble over Chainwalker, I think. But Mother of Runes is useful like any point in the game. I think that's why I want to take it here. Aurelia's Fury is okay. Certainly not bad. But I think Mother of Runes is a little bit more what I'm looking for. Gives you protection from certain removal spells and stuff like that. Parallax Wave is kind of a broken card. I've played this a few times and it's not very fair. This seems really good for us. Mentor of the Meek seems great for us. I admit it fits our curve really well. The thing is, Parallax Wave is so good. This card is really not all that fair. It lets you just take care of stuff early and then get in for unfair amounts of damage. Cloud Goat is also very good, especially with this token theme that we've got going. I mean, admittedly, Cloud Goat with Perforos is pretty insane. But at the same time, this deals with everything for a reasonable cost. I would play it over the Linvala, likely. Although, I mean, we do have a lot of 4-drops, I admit, but I don't know what to say. Parallax Wave, dude. So good. So good. Weathered Wayfarer is okay. This takes too long. This mountain or forest, and don't really have any of that. I mean, Wayfarer is playable. Lets you find Caracas, I guess, or Ancient Tomb or something. There's really just not much else for us. Firecat's a card. Figure of Destiny is definitely a card. Sacred Foundry is some fixing. I think the issue is we're kind of low on creatures. We only have 14, I guess 15. Well, that's a pretty appropriate amount, but I don't want to play 10th Street Hooligan now if we don't have fixing for it. Sacred Foundry would be some more fixing that I'd certainly like to have. But Figure is actually pretty awesome one-drop. What's this guy do? When he dies, search for an enchantment. So I could get Parallax Wave when he dies, but he's a 4-mana 1/2. It's a bit pricey. I'm going to take the Figure. Alright, Koth is a great card. Have a lot of experience with playing that. It's another 4-drop, however, which is a bit of an issue. Chaos Warp is pretty cool. Can be good. Confluence fixes, but pains me. Stormblood Berserker seems like it's right in our wheelhouse since we've got just a ton of 1-drops now. Mother, Soldier, Wayfarer, Figure. We've got 4 1-drops, yeah. I think this is definitely a Stormblood Berserker pick. Got a lot of extra cards. Goblin Guide, perfect. Well, this aggressive thing's working out. Another 1-drop. And another 1-drop. Jeez. All the 1-drops. Well, Satyr it is. Battle Driver, rather. Tabled. So let's focus on this token creation obnoxiousness. Jeez, tabled both of these too. Let's just take all the 1-drops and then play like a 16-land deck. Can I go mono red? May go mono red. We'll find out. Find out shortly. Mentor the Meek tabling is great news for us. Maybe there's no reason to go mono red. Which of these is the best? This can cheat out and big dude. This is, I think survival likely is more annoying. Show and tell is a little bit more risky for them, whereas survival is pretty much just good for you. Firecat seems great. I think we're mono red, I think, but I guess it's hard to say. I'll have to take a closer look when we're all good and ready. Might just be. It probably is just worth it to play white anyway, but we'll take a peek and find out. Like Whipcorder is pretty much just a mono white or a 1 white card because you can morph it, so you only need 1 white. Chaos Warp is a good table. This card is fine. I mean, it can backfire on you, but that's the risk you run. I guess if I cut white, I lose 3 white 1-drops that are all pretty good, but we'll find out. I probably will end up playing white. I think it's just going to come down to what are the priority white spells I want to play, you know? And I'm just not sure yet. Volcanic Island, all right. Let's just take a peek if I were to cut all of my white spells, what kind of deck I would be. What kind of deck I'd be looking at here. I mean, I guess we can sideboard them now. I think we are potentially mono red, aren't we? Oh, Helix too. So if I play Chrome Mox, which at this point is what, just a ramp spell, which is probably unnecessary. I don't even think Chrome Mox is all that good for us. Ancient Tomb. Yeah, Ancient Tomb is actually good if we're mono. Arid Mesa is good because it deck thins. Caracas is out. So, and I guess technically Chrome Mox is kind of a land, right? I mean, isn't Chrome Mox more for fixing? I don't like Chrome Mox that much in here, I guess, because it cost me a card. Does that make sense? Does that not make sense? Do I still not know what I'm talking about? Gargadon, I think Gargadon's still fine. Could just splash for Helix. I mean, no one ever had an issue with splashing for Helix, right? Because, I mean, we are running 10th Street Hooligan, which is a big fat turd. This is like a morph dude. Let's separate creatures from non-creatures so I can get a better idea of what we're looking at. So I've got a lot of 1-drops. I think we're easily a 16 land deck. Battle Driver is good with War Marshal, Pyromancer, as is Hero. But burn spells, we got Bonfire, Burst Lightning, Mortars, Flame Javelin, Rift Bolt. That's it. But we do have enough spells to make this Pyromancer a little bit sexier, which is nice. Do I want Chrome Mox? I can't decide. I think because it costs me another card, I really don't want this card. So I don't think I want Chrome Mox in here. I still want the Mesa. I like the idea of deck thinning. I also like the idea of possibly running a Lightning Helix, but I probably, if I'm running 16 lands, don't want to disrupt the mana base. I probably don't want to cut any more creatures. Playing 10th Street Hooligan as a 2-drop 2/1 seems pretty bad, but I don't think there's any other... Wait, I don't even have enough cards, do I, technically? I'd have to run 18 lands if I wanted to go mono red. All right, change of plans, folks. We're not going mono red. So what are the white cards I want to play? Well, Helix seems like an easy one. And then it's Hero Bladehold, as awkward as that is. Spectral Possession, that's also awkward. Seems like all the cards I want to play are pretty awkward. Whipcorder doesn't seem like you want to splash it, but it does tap things down. I mean, that can be good. Does Surprise tap stuff down, which is good. I mean, the thing about Whipcorder splash is it's a pretty easy splash because you play it as a 3-drop morph creature. And then your opponents are going to want to kill it because they think it's a Blistering Fire Cat. And then you, in fact, show them a Whipcorder that gets to tap stuff down. I don't know. I don't know. That's a pretty light white splash if I want to do that. I could probably get away with a lot fewer white sources if I do it like that. I'm certainly not getting my most powerful white spells, but they're so color intensive. I think it makes much more sense to play the Mentor since we just have infinite creatures to get value off of it. So, okay. I'm comfortable with this splash. Do I want to play 17 lands now? If I do, then let's get rid of the Hooligan because he's just lackluster. So let's play 17 lands again. I'll get back on that boat. We've got ways to get value with Mentor the Meek. We've got actual mana sinks in Figure of Destiny and our 4-drops like Perforos. We want resources so we can get a Gargadon out, I guess, technically. I mean, maybe there's an argument to play the Hooligan over the Gargadon, but I kind of like Gargadon. Is Gargadon not that good? I feel like it just comes in and you get to attack for 9. What's wrong with that? I mean, admittedly, it's slow, but it seems better than a 2-mana 2/1 in Cube. But at the same time, I mean, we do want to be dealing consistent damage. So 10th Street kind of could help with that. I think 10th Street's too bad for this deck. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But we are doing, let's see. I don't think we do Ancient Tomb because there's really not that much value that it gets for us. So Ancient Tomb actually doesn't seem that good. Mesa's got to come in. So Caracas can come in, I think. I think that's okay. I guess I could bounce Perforos if he had some answer for it and it was active. That would, in fact, work. This guy doesn't become a legend, does he? No. Is that the only legend I have? Maybe it is. So I can bounce opposing. I have to make sure I play A planes So I think I probably want 2 more planes. Hey, that's what they said. And that way, with 2 more planes, I pretty easily have, what, 4? Maybe I can even get away with 12. I mean, you should see all the red sources you need with 12 sources of red. So this way it's 5 sources of white and 13 sources of red, which seems pretty easily attainable. Otherwise, yeah, I would say this is a pretty straightforward aggro deck. Trying to win with cards like Battle Driver and Hero of Oxid Ridge. Trying to think if there's anything. Else. I don't think so. All right. Excuse me. Guess we're going to play it like this. I have no idea how good this deck is. I have no idea. We have a lot of burn spells. I guess that's good. It's an interesting deck, at the very least. So, I guess what you would expect from a novice player in a cube. Something pretty aggressive. Didn't even end up playing my first pick, but I'm definitely to blame for that. I just figured Chrome Mox was good, but I guess it is kind of card disadvantage to ramp, which probably isn't that good. All right, yeah, gonna run it like this. See you guys round 1.